Whether you want to believe it or not, man, reincarnation is very, very real. You have to understand that you are a light being first and foremost, and therefore light is made up of energy, so energy never dies, and that's why you always being continuously recycled back and forth to this realm. And if you don't believe me, just listen to what it is that they have to say in this video.
Yeah, I'm about to expose every lie they done told, like how they trafficking kids and why they ain't got a soul. They feeding off our energy, trying to destroy the globe. They got weather control, they even making it snow, but we can't run from it. Gotta grab it by the ant.
Our son Aiden spoke a lot about an imaginary friend named Sarah, who he claimed was his sister. He said that he chose me and he came back, and that's how he was born. And he looked at me and said, "No, I did have another mom in my other house." And that really creeped me out a little bit. And I just look at him and say, "What other house? This is the only house you've ever lived in." And he says, "No, my other house, the light one with the dark blue shutters. My other room is there, my mom is there, my dad is there, and Sarah's there. And so are my 3 cats." Aiden would always draw pictures of the other house. And he drew these pictures on more than one occasion. So when he explained all of this, it kind of shocked me. Each time I would ask him the same thing to see if the story would change, it was always consistent. Whenever I would tell Aiden that his other family did not exist, that Sarah didn't exist, he would get very upset with me. And he would look at me with this emotion in his face, like, "How could you, or how dare you?" And Aiden would always say, "No, that was my family. Sarah's my sister, and it's all real." I was very confused. It hurt my feelings when Aiden spoke about another family, but it didn't seem to affect him negatively, so I didn't worry. But then one night, everything changed. Aiden was never afraid of the dark before, ever. But we were all sleeping in bed, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I just hear this really loud scream. I got up from bed, I ran upstairs to his bedroom, and I ran in there and asked him what's going on. And he was trembling, freaking out and saying, "Sarah scared me, Sarah scared me." I just went straight to his bed. I comforted him and told him everything was okay, that maybe he was having a nightmare. And he said, "No, I was not having a nightmare. Sarah put on a mask and she scared me. She's playing tricks."
Sarah sound more like a demon, y'all. I mean, I don't know. Y'all tell me in the comment section below.
She was putting on scary masks. Those like faces, like different faces of masks. She only scared me at night.
Before, I didn't see Sarah as a threat, but this night, something just changed. He became afraid of the dark, and he'll call me into his room even with the lights on, and he'll tell me he's scared. It's completely different from how he used to be. I never took him to a therapist. It never crossed my mind of him having any mental issues. And as a mom, I feel very helpless. I just don't know what to do. After that night, Aiden told me that Sarah liked to play tricks on him all the time. And he refused to go back to his room alone. He kept saying, "Sarah is going to scare me." So Aiden pretty much slept in our room for a long period of time. Nothing could have prepared me for what happened next. One day, Aiden and I were driving in the car, and Aiden was in the back seat talking to Sarah. And I asked him, "Aiden, what are you and Sarah talking about?" And he says, "About when I died." That just freaked me out. I had no idea what to say to what he just told me. There's no possible way that Aiden could have overheard about reincarnation because we've never taken our kids to church. I was raised in the Pentecostal religion. We were taught that once you die, and that's it until God comes back and he takes all the souls with him. Reincarnation is very taboo in the Latino culture. I would say especially more so in the religion that I was brought up in. Later, when I calmed down a bit and I had some time to think, I wondered if this was what he was talking about with Sarah. Like, it wasn't make-believe to him. He really thought he had another life with another family.
Look, y'all, I want y'all to know this, man. Like, whenever a child to me says that they chose you in the beginning, like, I chose you to be my parent, I chose you to be my father, my mother, so on and so forth, right? It always strikes me and more so confirm what it is that I believe about the afterlife and the things that actually happen on our way in terms of us actually picking who it is that we want to, be to parent us, to be our sisters, our brothers, our daughters, so on and so forth, because we know that that's going to be the environment that we need in order for our soul to best thrive and achieve what it needs to be achieved this time. So I say that, man, like anytime you hear your kids say, I chose you, oh, it's bigger than what you think it is. It's way bigger than what you think it is. But let's jump into the next video and check it out.
That kids can remember their past lives. So this is my beautiful boy. This is my son, Flynn. This picture was taken yesterday. He's 9 years old. Now, from the earliest age, Flynn spoke with an American accent, which was strange because I'm English, his mum's English, and we never hung out with American people. He's never been to America, and he had no American friends. But, we just went with it. It was kind of cool. His teachers thought it was cool too. He'd say stuff like, Dad, you're so lame, you can't even play baseball, right? Which is something that an English kid just would never say, but it just flowed out of him so naturally. And then on Christmas Day, 2019, something beautiful and amazing happened. Flynn had been asking me to go fishing. He wouldn't stop going on about, take me fishing, take me fishing. I've never been fishing in my life. He's never been fishing, yet he just really wanted to go fishing, and he was asking me to take him. When I asked him, why do you want to go fishing so badly? He just said, because I used to go fishing with my other dad, with my other family, not in this time, but in a time before this time. That's the way he explained it. My wife and I just kind of looked at each other like, wow. So we just allowed him to continue. We asked a few questions and it all began to come out. Just like nothing. Like it was just like the most normal thing to him. He told us that his father was called Steve and that he had a tattoo of a shark on his arm. He then went on to tell us that he couldn't remember much about his mom, but he did remember that he had an older brother and that they went to the same school. Sadly, he also remembered that his father had died during a car accident when he was hit crossing the road looking at his mobile phone, like really specific stuff. A few days later, Flynn noticed that this movie, Paul, had come out on Netflix. It was available to watch on Netflix. And he said, oh, I love that movie. And I said, son, you haven't seen that movie. It's like a 15 or an 18. You're only 6 at the time. There's no way you've seen this movie. And he says, no, I have. I went to the movies when it first came out and I watched it with my dad and my brother. Now, I did some research. The movie Paul came out in 2011. So it would have been in the movies in 2011 when Flynn watched it. And my beautiful son, Flynn, was born in August of 2013. If you ask me, I personally think that Flynn passed away with his father in that car accident and then chose to come into our family less than 2 years later. Now, this would explain a lot. It explains why Flynn and I have always been so close, even from the minute he was born. And it also explains why his teacher would say that he just knows stuff that a 6-year-old just wouldn't know yet.
I want y'all to understand and understand that this is a time where the frequency on the planet is just way, way, way above its means, okay? We have all of these crystal babies, they coming in, y'all, and they're actually remembering who it was that they were in their past lives, amongst other things that they're doing, okay? As I've said before, we have children, y'all, that are actually reading as soon as they come out the womb, like maybe 9 months in, y'all. These are the crystal babies. These are the ones that's going to come, that's going to show you a certain ability. They're going to be super intelligent. They're going to be able to see harder than the ones who can see. When I talk about from a seer aspect in terms of a spiritual standpoint, they're going to be able to see clear into the future, tell you what's going on with your life. They're going to be able to tell you just a gang of things, y'all. These children are here already. We're watching them come in, y'all, and that's because the frequency on the planet is arising, all right? And with that being said, y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section below, because I love to know what it is that y'all think about, man. And yeah, with that, I just want to leave y'all as I came. I want you guys to always be aware, because to be aware is to be alive. And as always, peace, family. Peace meaning positive energy. Always creates elevation. Ashe.